So, as you know, we're talking about balance, and one of the three modalities of balance is eyes, right? Seeing the horizon. So the easiest thing you can do to practice balance is to go ahead and close your eyes, and you can do that at any moment. But because of that, I am going to teach you guys eye exercises, because our ability to track is very important for our balance. And I noticed, I won't say names, but I noticed on Monday when we did this in class, that there were people that literally weren't able to track or weren't able to follow with their eyes when it was off to the side, or they moved their whole head when we weren't supposed to turn our head. So I think this is something that we're losing our ability to do. So we're going to do that again, because I think it's important. You can do this anywhere. You know, you can do it sitting on the pot. You've got nothing else to do. You can do eye exercises. It's just a matter of remembering how to do all of this. So as we've talked about, there's the see, hear, and feel of balance, and see is the visual, and that's what we use the most. Hear is our ears, and yoga really moves our ears from area to area. And that's why when you close your eyes, when you do a sun salutation, you're really stimulating your balance, even though you don't know it. And then feel is, of course, proprioception, right? We all know that. But there's 4 elements of balance that we haven't talked about. Let's see if I can sort of break this down for you. It's peripheral, neural, mechanism, proprioception. So that is the brain connection to where our body is. It's basically proprioception. And then inside that is the kinesthetic, conscious awareness of where our joints are in space as we move. And then third is the highly integrated dynamic interaction of neurological pathways. Is that a mouthful or what? This is why I have to read it, because I could never remember it. And the fourth is postural control system, which is the feedback mechanism between the central nervous system and the muscles. And that's the part that we really, if you practice balance, you will get better at it, because you're building those neuronal pathways. So the theme for the day is the more you lose balance, the more you're learning balance. So that means the more you fail, the better, right? It's like how I play golf. The more times I hit the ball, the more bang I'm getting for the buck. Forget the score. So no one's keeping score of how many times you fall or how many times you lose balance. Look upon it as, oh good, another opportunity to learn and to practice and to have my body learn. It's kind of the same as meditation. How many of you find meditation really easy and you never have your mind wander, right? Not one hand. So you look at the meditation the same way. The more times your mind wanders and you wake up to it wandering and bring it back to the breath, the more you're learning how to be more present. So it's all kind of the same thing. The more that you lose balance, the more you're going to be able to practice and get those neuronal pathways, that feedback system to work. So we're going to start with a short meditation. I'm going to go ahead and sit in my chair so that I can continue on with the eye meditation.
Do you want to mute everybody?
Oh yes, I will mute everybody. Sorry. Where's my mute button? Okay, and I will ring the bell. So if you're sitting in a chair or you're sitting on a blanket on a block, whatever, reach down with the sits bones tall through the spine, and you want to sit on the front half of your chair so that you're not leaning back in the chair. And when you roll your pelvis slightly forward, one of the ways you can do that is to put your hands on your lower thighs right at your knees and gently pull on your thighs, and you'll feel your pelvis move forward. And maybe you'll even feel your lower back get that little small curve that it's supposed to have. Whereas when you don't do that, you tend to slump back and you lose that curve. So we want to make sure we have that curve in the lower back. And you can close your eyes. Feel your feet on the floor. Pick up your feet and your toes, I mean, roll and then really reach them out, fan them out, and then onto the little toe, second toe, and then all the way over to just when you can ground the mound of the big toe, and then gently a little bit of pressure from the toes to the heel so that the inner arch, the medial arch, is lifted and is innervated. And then slightly relax, because I know you all have too much effort in anything you do. And reach down with the feet, reach down with the sits bones, tall through the spine. Grounded. Our sits bones on the chair or the block are surrogate to the earth. Take a nice deep breath and let the exhale go all the way out. And as you exhale, let your shoulders relax away from your ears and roll slightly back and down so that your collarbones aren't hunched forward. So your collarbones can be nice and broad. Then relax your jaw, relax your tongue. And invite open and spaciousness, not only across your collarbones, but up through the roof of the mouth back to the base of the skull. Across the forehead and between the eyebrows. Cheekbones relaxing as there's more space between the ears. And with all that effort of reaching down the sits bones and being tall, can you still find ease in your trunk? So relax your lower back and let your tailbone reach down to meet the two sits bones to make a three-legged stool. And let each exhale go all the way out. Let each inhale be spontaneous when your breath tells you it's time to take it. And a few more breaths here. Bringing ourselves into our space of being present in our yoga practice. And if your hands are still on your thighs, if you've taken them off, go ahead and put them down. Pull on your thighs to bring your body forward as you come into seated cow. Shoulder bones go back. Raise your face up so that your ears change position. Your eyes are closed. And then push on your lower thighs so that you can go back into cat. You look down, face is in towards your belly button. Lower back goes to the back of the chair. Inhale, going forward into cow. Exhale, back into cat. Let your head move with each position so that your ears get that stimulation of changing. So when you go into cow, your face comes forward and up. And when you go into cat, it comes back and down. And then coming to your sits bones, keeping your eyes closed, put your left hand onto the side of your chair or down on the floor if you're seated, right hand up and over. So this is crescent, seated crescent moon. Send that breath into that whole right side of your rib cage. Let your left ear come down towards your left shoulder. We're changing that position of the ear again. Inhale, coming up and windmilling your arms over to the other side. So right arm is down on the floor on your chair. Left arm is up and over, right ear down towards the floor. Now turn your head to look up towards your arm. You've changed the position of the ears. Inhale, coming up. Put your hands back on your thighs. Eyes are still closed. Come forward into cow. Go back into cat. Go over to the right and make giant circles as you come forward into cow, over to the left, back to cat. So giant circles, let your ears follow. So when you go to the side, the ears come back. When you go into cat, the ears come down. When you go on the other side, So just let your ears really follow, go the other direction. Really letting those ears, it's the whole trunk experience, but including the neck just a little bit more. And then coming to tabletop. So you're just in seated, I'm sorry, not tabletop, seated. And you can open your eyes, grab your pencil. And just have your pencil in the hand. We're not going to use it at first. At first, remember, you're down with the sits bones tall through the spine. You're going to look straight ahead. And then your eyes, without moving your head, your eyes go up to 12 o'clock. Then your eyes track down to 6 o'clock. Back to center. Over to 3 o'clock. Back to center. Over to 9 o'clock. Back to center. We'll do that again. Up to 12. Down to 6. Back to center. Over to 3. Back to center. Over to 9. Back to center. Now take your pencil. Oh, let's warm our hands, rubbing them together, and you cup them over your eyes. That's a very Indian way to rest your eyes. Close, and you can have your eyes closed. And then you can grab your pencil. So, or pen, or chopstick, or whatever you happen to have. And you're going to have it straight out in front of you. As long as you can get your elbows straight. And then track it all the way in till your eyes go cross-eyed. Back out, into cross-eyed, back out, into cross-eyed. Up to 1 o'clock without moving your head. Down to the nose, up to 12 o'clock, down to the nose, down to 7 o'clock, immediate crossover, back. Now, my eyes didn't track. Did everyone else's eyes track with that? My eyes stayed in the cross-eyed position. So let's try that again. Out to the out and back to cross-eyed, back to out, down to 7 o'clock. All the way up to 1 or 2 o'clock. Back to center. Let's try 10, 11 o'clock. All the way down to 4 or 5 o'clock. Back to center and back to cross-eyed to your nose and back out. Okay, now we'll move our head. So this is where I noticed some people were able to track with their eyes, but not with their head. And some people were able to track with their head, but not their eyes. Go ahead and give yourself a little warm up for your eyes, a little rest. And by the way, if you get dizzy or nauseous, just don't do it. Just let your eyes rest. I actually got a little dizzy on Monday. Okay, now with your pencil, this time we move our head up to 12 o'clock, all the way down to 6 o'clock, back to center where the hands are, over to 3 o'clock, back to center, over to 9 o'clock, back to center, up to 12 o'clock, all the way down to 6, back to center and over to 10, 11, back to center, down to 4 or 5, back to center, up to 12, all the way down to 6, and back to center. Did any of you find that difficult? Good. So when we're walking, particularly, and have any of you ever walked into a wall or the corner of a door? Yeah. So are we watching where we're going, or are we tracking where we're going? So that's one of the reasons for falls. And as you know, this is all building strength for fall prevention. So the two that are sitting on the floor, do we just have two? We're going to do sun salutations to get up from the chair. You can do it by just sitting there, and we'll see if I can figure out a way to tell you how to get up. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. You can just fold down with your forehead down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Have your eyes closed so that your ears are changing position. Inhale, coming all the way up. Hands back onto your thighs. We're going to go ahead and add on chair pose. So the two seated, this is where you're going to go to down dog. Okay. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, fold. Then you two go to down dog. The rest of us put our arms behind us. Bring your weight onto your feet and come up into chair. Down dog people, look up to your hands, step your feet forward and come up to halfway lift. Then the rest of us are going to slowly lower down onto the chair. 5, 4, we're building strength. 3, 2, 1. Guys are on the floor, the halfway lift people, come to absolute and bring your arms down and come back to standing. So everyone is in either seated in the chair or standing. Sun salutation. Inhale up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, change your face, looking forward and up. Exhale, fold, face goes looking back. And then bring your arms behind you and come all the way up into chair. And then push down to come all the way up to standing. So we figured that out. So in standing, we've already moved the position of our ears. On Monday, we used the block seated. Today, we're going to use the block when we're already standing. So grab your block. So the progression in helping us all learn balance is 2 feet on stable ground with a wide base of support is the most secure. Making the base of support less with your ankles together is less secure. Closing your eyes. Now, do you feel proprioception? Do you feel the wavering and the slight movement of your toes and the muscles in your legs and the muscles in your feet moving? Okay, so that's proprioception without using your eyes. And then go ahead and open your eyes. So you can do that by just making your base of support less. So now with the eyes open, remember, if you get dizzy or nauseous or start having seizures, please stop. Okay, so bring your weight over to the right side and raise your left heel. Now close your eyes. Oh, a little bit. So we've got a little bit less base of support. I don't know about you, but I've got a whole lot more wavering going on. Put that heel down and raise the other heel. And then put that heel down, open your eyes so that you get your bearings. So we didn't even raise the one foot. All we did is close the eyes and raise the one heel. Did you find that more challenging? Yeah, okay. So to progress, or you just practice where you are. Remember, stop on the progression at any time. So now close our eyes, bring the feet together closer. Raise one heel. Turn your head to look over the side that you're raising your heel. Turn it back and turn your head to the side that's heel's not raised. And turn your head back, heel down, eyes open. Did you have more wavering? I did. As soon as I added turning my head, that really changes things. Okay, so close our eyes, let's do it the other side. Raise the other heel. Turn your head towards the side that the heel is raised. Turn your head back and over to the side where you're solid. Turn your head back, heel down, eyes open. Did you notice a change from one side to the other? Most of us have one side that has better balance than the other. So that means if you're practicing balance, start with the side that is less balanced, less able to do it. Go to the side that's better and then go back to the side so that you're not ignoring the side that's good. So that's a good. Now the next is to get a blanket or take your mat and roll it up. Or a pillow. Now, if you already find what we've done challenging, don't get the blanket, just practice where we are, right? This is a progression. So now we're on an unstable surface. heels together. Unstable surface, eyes closed. If you feel like you can challenge, close your eyes, raise your right heel. If you feel that you want more challenge, turn your head to the right. Back to center, to left, back to center, heel down, eyes open. See how easy this is and yet how hard it is, right? So easy and yet such good practice. So let's close our eyes, heels together, ankles together, close our eyes, uneven surface. Raise the left heel. Boy, are we getting a lot of practice on proprioception. Look over your left shoulder. Back to center. You can always open your eyes, but over your right shoulder. This side is way worse. Back to center. Open your eyes, heel down. Okay, get off the blanket. Now we're going to do that all with the block on our head. Just joking. So find the block and place it on your head. Oh dear, my bun is a little high. So I swore I wasn't going to wash my hair today and put conditioner on because that makes it way more slippery. Wouldn't we like to have Velcro? Sway from right to left. Now expect that the block is going to drop multiple times. That's okay. This is not close your eyes and sway right to left. Now bring your ankles and heels together and sway right and left. You can take your arms out, that helps for balance if you like. And sway forward and back. So the bum sticks out, pelvis sticks out. Do big circles with your pelvis, like you're doing the hula hoop. Yeah, we're going to lose the block plenty of times and hula hoop the other direction. And then come back to just standing. You can open your eyes and walk one step forward. And notice how you pick up one foot, exaggerate that, then bring the next step forward. Just raise the heel of the back foot. You're just on the toe, just like we practiced. Swing it through and do this for a few more steps and have that point of where you are balanced on one foot as you raise the other foot. You might have to turn around. You might have to, go the other direction. Depends on how long of a hallway you have. So this is walking meditation, isn't it? And slowly making your way back. And take the block off your head. Next balance challenge is walking. So now, again, this is walking with balance. So if you have a problem with balance that you're really working on, maybe you want to do it with a couch on the side or next to a wall, because we're going to be walking. So we're going to put one foot in front of the other. That decreases our base of support. And you do heel to toe, one foot in front of the other. Lori, does this sound familiar? This is balance exercises from physical therapy after you get your knee replaced. And then go the other way. I want you to practice this long enough that you really get the feeling when you get I want the heel to touch the toes. If you take too far of a step forward, then you don't get the same decreased level. And then come back to where you are. We're going to add on another. Anyone find that too easy? I find that really hard, just like that. But there is more. I sound like a late night television commercial. Okay, so we're going to practice with the heel. So we're decreasing our balance of support, heel to toe. right? We're gonna keep our eyes open and look straight ahead so that you have your eyes working, but we're gonna add on movement of our head. So turn your head to look over your shoulder and then back to center and over your shoulder as you walk. So this is functional. When you walk, do you look straight ahead or do you look all over, right? You look to the right, to the left to make sure a car isn't coming, to make sure that you're missing the pothole. So this is functional movement. Moving head from side to side, heel to toe, heel to toe. Making your way back wherever you are. So Peggy, who isn't here today, is doing this every day, every morning to help her balance. Can you find some place in your life where you could do this every day? This is one of the best exercises you can do to help with your balance. That's easy, you don't need any equipment. The next one is the star. So on your mat with your brain, make a big plus sign, right? So you draw from one side to the other and from front to back. Then draw a big X. So from the corners all the way back behind you. So now you've got that in your brain, that's your star on your mat. We're going to reach out to touch each point of those stars. First, we're going to do it with our foot on the ground. Mini squat. Take your right foot and touch the one in the front. And then take it all the way back to the back. Woo, yeah. Back to center, out to the side. Back to center, out to the side behind you. Back to center. Up to the forward cross in front of you. Back to center, out to the side in front of you. We're now doing the crosses. Back to center, back behind. Back to center and back to the last part of the cross. Back to center. Now we'll do it to the other side. Mini squat. Left foot forward, 12 o'clock. Back, 6 o'clock, back to center, over to 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, depending, back to center, back behind you, back to center. Now we've done the plus, now we'll do the X. Front right X, back to center, front left X, crossing the body, back to center, back to the right, back to center, back to the left, back to center, and coming up, okay? The next is keep your foot off the ground. Now, if you found that that was challenging enough, do it again, because the more times you do it, remember, the more you lose balance, the better it is. So for those of you who want more challenge, raise the leg up, mini squat, forward, back, side, cross side, forward front. I had to put my foot down, forward back, forward front and front, and back to the side and back. Pretty good, but hard, isn't it? Now, did anyone notice that the standing leg really was working? So you're really building strength on the standing leg too. So mini squat onto the right foot, or the other foot goes out, whichever one you did. Back to the side, over to the side behind us, back to center, front up, back to center, front cross, back to center, back to the side, back to center, back behind us to the side, back to center. Phew. How was that? Good, bad, ugly? Okay. Now, that's why I have integrated so that we don't, this is something how I'm very different from alignment yoga. In alignment yoga, they do one pose, come back to center, and then do another pose and come back to center. How many times do you stand in tree pose and don't do anything else, right? We're going to get to tree pose, but we're going to get to tree pose by going through some poses that balance. So hands at hips. We're doing the forward, the flow that we do with high lunge. Mini squat. As you come up, raise your right knee up. You can keep your foot to the ground if you like. Out to the side. Back to center. Cross. Back to center. Tip your pelvis, kick the leg up, warrior three basically, and then drop the heel. Projected lunge, hands at heart. Reach your left shin forward, left thigh back, and tuck it under so that your hip isn't going out to the side. Then push on the front leg to bring your leg straight, more weight on that back leg. Good morning, psoas. Raise the hip headlights. Hands at hips. Pull with the left heel, bend the knee. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. This should be pretty familiar to you. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. Next time you bend, pausing here. Now open your arms up and try to get the thumbs towards each other behind you. With your chest that open, look up, bring your arms up. Now I'm not going to close my eyes, but if you feel really steady, feel free to do so. I do not have the balance to be able to do that. Then come forward into projected lunge. Reach that heel back. Bring your arms back. It's now humble lunge. From humble lunge, we're going to take our weight onto the front foot as we come into airplane. Raise the heel up, chest comes down as we come into warrior three. Bring the leg in and knee out as you come into tree pose. Once you're in tree pose, press down on the standing leg so that the hip isn't going out, but the hip is in so that you're a nice long kinetic chain from foot to ear. If you feel stable, close your eyes. Or raise your toes. Or do both. Arms down, foot down. So all of those movements are movements that you do in a day. You reach for the grandchild. You pick the child up, put them into the car seat. You reach for the oatmeal. You put something into the oven. These are all movements that we do, only we have codified them into yoga. Into yoga, not yogurt. I had yogurt for breakfast. Mini squat. Coming up, which leg did we do last time? So raise the left leg, or maybe you just raise the heel. Remember, you could just raise the heel. Out to the side. This is crane pose. Back to center. Cross midline. Back to center. Tip over. Kick that leg out. Bringing it down. Heel can come down until you get your balance. Then pick the heel up and rotate it out. Projected lunge. Hands can come to heart. If you really want to build strength, the arms can go up. That puts a lot of strain on my lower back, so I tend to keep my hands at heart. Then press down with the front foot to straighten the leg, hands to hips. Bring more weight onto that back heel so that you're opening up the psoas and raise the hip headlights. Pull with the right heel, hamstrings, push, quads. Moving up and down. So I finally learned a number for hamstrings and quads. Quads should be 60% of the work, hamstrings 40%. I'd say most of us do 90-10. Next time bends, pausing here. Now, if you find that your lower back is really swayed, like I see I want you to raise your hip headlights and knit your ribs. Then take your arms out to the side, palms up, try to get the thumbs together. Reach the arms up. If you feel stable, you can bend more, or you can close your eyes. So I ran out of space here and my heel is on the wall. So I'm much more stable with my heel on the wall. Just saying. And then come forward into projected lunge. Arms swing back for humble lunge. Bring your weight over onto your right foot as you come up into airplane. Tip over more as you go into warrior 3. And we all join with the heel coming up into crane, out to the side, and onto your ankle in tree. Phew, it's a long road to get to tree, isn't it? So once you get to tree, let your shoulders relax away from your ears and the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Exhale all the way out. If you feel really stable, close your eyes. And breathe. Don't hold your breath. Hands down, legs straight. Nicely done, if I may say so myself. Okay, stepping wide for sumo. So sumo, let's close our eyes and really get those ears to work. As we put our hands on hips, face towards the ceiling. Shins forward, sits bones back, face comes down so that face is about 3 feet in front of you. Push down to come all the way up, face straight ahead. Exhale, coming down, face comes down. Inhale, coming up. Next time you come up, pause here. We're going to turn on the deep front fascia line. Pull your heels together, shins together, thighs together, hip headlights together. Put the hands behind you and imagine you're pressing against an imaginary wall. And keeping that deep front fascia line engaged, hands to hips, face to the ceiling. Exhale, coming down. It's hard to do with movement. Inhale, coming up. Next time you come down, pause here, release the deep fascia line. You can feel how it all relaxes. Raise the right heel, lowering down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Contact, raise the left heel, lowering down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Contact, press down to come up. If you want the challenge, keep your eyes closed. If you need to keep your eyes open, that's fine. Turn your left heel in and your right toes out. So your hips should land somewhere at your 10 o'clock. Let your face face that. Pull with the heel to bend the knee. Push to straighten. Roll out onto the little toe side, each toe down until you get to the big toe so that each of the feet are not over pronated. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. That was what, 2 classes ago? Exhale to bend, pausing here. Your eyes are closed, aren't they? Hands to heart. How do you know where your hands are? Inhale up and out. How do you know where your arms are? Warrior 2. Turn your face towards your outstretched front arm, which you think is over your bent front knee. Then bring your hands to hips and tilt all the way over so that your right ear is towards the right thigh, bringing your forearm down, and turn your face to look over your left shoulder. You can let that left arm come up towards the ceiling. Now you can have your eyes open if you find you lose balance, but if you want more challenge, keep your eyes closed, turn your face down towards your toes. Then bring your face forward and face up towards your hand. Face forward. Put your right hand on your right shin and straighten your leg. You're now in triangle pose. This is a balance pose in case you can't feel it. I certainly can. If you want the challenge with your eyes closed or open, face towards the ceiling. Face forward, move slowly. Face down towards your feet. Face forward. Bend the knee, rest for a breath. With the next inhale, reach with the left hand up to come all the way up into warrior 2. Flip the right hand, reverse warrior. Give that arm a chance. Straighten the leg and bend the leg. Reverse warrior, standing gate. Next time, knee is straight, arm down, face forward. Maybe your eyes are still closed, maybe they're open. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, 2 sumos. And then when you come up, right toes turn in, left toes turn out. Now I can feel that I'm on a tightrope, so I heel-toed my front feet out. That's fine. Roll out into the little toe side, ground each of the toe pads until you get to the big toe. Just lightly grounding the big toe without letting your whole foot pronate, go in and collapse in. Pull with the left heel to bend the knee and push to straighten. Moving with your breath. Eyes closed if you want the challenge, eyes open if you find that you don't need the challenge or don't want it, particularly if you're getting dizzy. Next time knee bends, pausing here, hands to heart. A little bit of pressure on your hands that get those back muscles, rhomboids working. Inhale up and out. Turn your face to look over your left hand. Turn your face back to center and back over your back hand. Back to center, over the left hand, pausing here. Make sure that that lower thigh is gently rotated out. Hands to hips, face forward. Tipping over, left ear towards left thigh. Forearm on the thigh, hand on the hip, look over your right shoulder, face towards the ceiling. Then the arm can come up, face forward. Face down towards your left toes. Face forward. Face up towards the ceiling. Face forward. Reach down for the shin, pull your thigh back and go into triangle pose. Eyes open or closed, faces forward, face goes down towards the toes, back to forward, up towards the ceiling, back to forward, bend the knee and rest for a breath. With the next inhale, reach with that right arm up to bring you all the way up into warrior two. Flip the left hand and reverse warrior. Straighten the knee, standing gait. Bending the knee. Moving, add a little bit of head movement. So maybe when you straighten the knee, turn the face to look over your back shoulder. When you bend the knee, turn the face to look up towards your arm. So that you've got some movement in your head and your neck. The next time the knee is straight, pausing here, arms down, feet forward, heels out. So bump the heels out, hands to hips. Now you can open your eyes or keep them closed. The whole practice, you can keep them closed. Inhale, face towards the ceiling. Exhale, come just to tabletop. In tabletop, we're strengthening the muscles in the back. Bring your hands down onto your lower thighs or below the knees onto the shin. Reach out through the crown of the head, reach back with your sits bones. Now, gently roll forward onto the balls of your feet, less pressure on the heels. Notice what muscles turn on in your legs. You feel that? Now go back more onto your heels, where the balls feel like they're going to go up and what muscles turn on to keep you upright. Hamstrings and quads, find the space right in the middle where they're both engaged. Then inhale, lengthening, face forward. Exhale, fold, hands come down the shins, face faces back behind the wall behind you. Another breath or two here. Pull the belly button, roll. Another cue. Take the tailbone and reach it up the wall behind you. So your pelvis rolls forward, and then reach your crown of the head forward as if someone was pulling from your belly button straight past your nose, nice and long. With the next exhale, fold. Coming all the way back up to tabletop, hands to hips. Press down on the feet to come all the way up. All sorts of muscles turn on. Open your eyes. Heel, toe, coming to the top of the mat. Are you all still with me, or some of you decided to leave the room? It's hard, isn't it, this balance stuff? But remember, the more we fail at balance, the better we're going to get, so that we don't fail, fall, and break a leg, right? One of my good friends from Woodstock just fell down the stairs, broke his neck, and 4 places in his arm and his leg. And that's in your house, falling down the stairs, and he's a year younger than me. So that means younger than most of us. Inhale up, exhale, bend the knees, tip the pelvis forward, fold. Inhale to lengthen. Keep your eyes closed for this. This is the best place. Exhale, plant your hands, feet step back, down dog. Sun salutation is a great opportunity because you've got both feet, sometimes both hands and feet, like in down dog. On the ground, you've got the stability, but your ears are changing position. Reach with the pelvis further back over the heels. One more breath here, and then come down onto your knees and all the way to child's pose. Now, I had a good question on Monday about how far your butt's supposed to come down in child's pose. Turn your ear so that the right ear is toward the ground. And it comes back as far as you can go. So child's pose, ideally, if you're like, a ballerina dancer, your butt is going to sit on your heels. All the way to, if you've had knee surgery, you're going to look more like you're in puppy dog. So just go back as far as you can go. Reach your sits bones back. Reach your fingers forward. Feel that pull on your arm lines. Then turn your head so that you're looking over your right shoulder. Your other shoulder, if you look the other way. Press down with the hands and pull. A little bit of an isometric exercise going on between those rhomboids. Then release and bring your right hand over onto the left side. Look over your left shoulder, crescent child. And walk your hands over to the right side. Look over your right shoulder. Left hand on top of right. Feel the breath move in your rib cage. It's the fascia getting a nice slide and glide. And then come back to straight, and then bend your elbows, forearm on forearm, so that your forehead can touch the forearms. If your forehead doesn't, that's okay. Do fist over fist, and you'll still be able to complete the kinetic chain. If you find your forehead can come down to the ground without the support, you can then let your arms come back behind you and hold on to your heels. And this is a child's pose that's more restorative. One more breath. And then wherever you are, bringing your hands under your shoulders, pushing up and making your way onto your back. For those of you who want a really big challenge, make your way onto your back with your eyes closed. Torture, right? So when we're in constructive rest, that's as stable as you can get, right? This in corpse pose, because the whole back of our body is on the ground. We're going to do supine leg stretch without the strap. If you want to use the strap, feel free to go ahead and get it. But I'm going to do it without the strap. I'm trying to build more core strength. Lift up the knee, the right knee, and reach the heel towards the ceiling. Point and flex. Now, even though your eyes are closed, you know what your ankle's doing. Go in circles. Because you've got that kinesthetic connection between your ankles and your brain. Circle the other direction. And then ending in flex. And reach the heel towards the ceiling, toes towards the nose. Hopefully you feel the stretch already. If you like, we don't have the strap, you can take your hands and knit them behind the knee and then draw the arm bones to the ground. But remember, we've got to keep that knee straight. And if you've got short hands, short arms, you might not be able to do that. So that's okay, you have to work harder. Lucky you, right? And then release. Roll the toes out, heel in. Now, if your lower back needs a support, you can raise your left knee up over your hip and let it go out to the opposite side. If you want to build more core support, just keep your left foot on the ground. And then the right leg goes out to the side. Without the assistance, the counterbalance of the left, it really uses way more muscles. Without the strap, yeah, now you see what the strap does. It really helps us, doesn't it? Bring the leg back, roll the toe towards the floor, the heel towards the ceiling, and cross midline. Let your left bent knee go towards the right, and then bend your right knee. So now you cross your leg over the left leg. Knit your ribs, draw the pubic bone into the belly button. So the belly button, the lower back comes onto the floor, and bring the left knee into the chest. Hands onto the knees or down the shins, and draw the shins towards you as your arm bones go down towards the ground. This is cow face pose. You might feel it, I'm feeling it in your piriformis, the right bum. It's another way of getting to that muscle. The other way is supine, not locust pose. You know what I'm talking about. And then release, bringing the foot down, uncrossing the leg. Pigeon, that's what I was talking about, the foot back. And just notice one side versus the other. What do you notice in your body? And how far up the kinetic chain can you feel it? Some people feel it all the way up to their face. Most people feel it in their legs, maybe halfway up their trunk. Take the left leg up, point and flex. Remember, the knee is absolutely straight. If it's bent, then concentrate on reaching the heel towards the ceiling and the toes to the nose. Then go in circles one way, circles the other way. Ending and flexed if you want, grabbing your hands behind your thighs and drawing the arm bones down to the ground. You don't need a strap to be able to do supine leg stretch, do you? Nice deep breath. And then see if you can keep it that close to your chest and the knee that straight as you let go. Roll the toes out, heel in, out to the side. Now, if you want, you can bring the right knee out to the side in the opposite direction. As soon as you get that, you're giving the counterbalance, but you're also using less core support. And each one of us practice where it's best for us. There's no right or wrong. It's right for you if it's right for you. Bring your leg back up over the hip. Roll the toes in, heel out, and then cross over. Right bent knee goes to the left. Left straight knee goes to the right. Anyone feel that on their IT band? Then bend the left knee and just rest for a breath, getting your crossed legs. Drawing your pubic bone into the belly button so that the lower back is on the mat, drawing the right knee into the chest, hands on the knees or down the shins, arm bones to the ground. Cow face pose, legs. We can't do the arms because cow face pose, one arm would have to be behind us and there wouldn't be room between that and our back. It would be very uncomfortable. And just relax into that gentle stretch of your piriformis. This is a great way to do it because your SI joint is stable on the ground. And releasing with your hands, bringing the right leg back down to the ground, uncrossing the left leg and coming back to constructive rest. And just notice in your body what that feels like. Let that space. And bring the right knee over the chest. Stretch out your left leg until the leg is straight. Wind relieving pose. Arm bones towards the ground. Both feet are flexed. Reach that left heel out. Reach the heel in your right leg so that the toes are trying to touch your shin. Now release the hold on the leg and see if you can keep the knee back close to the chest. Right away, I notice those muscles around my hip turning on. Knit your ribs so the lower back is stable. Out to the side, 1, back to center, out to the side, 2, back to center. Anyone recognize this as crane pose? Out to the side, back to center. Foot comes down, straighten out the leg. Notice what you notice. Press both heels into the ground, draw them in without bunching your mat. Bring the left knee into your chest, hands wrap around the knee, right leg reaches out. Both heels reach away from you, both toes reach towards your head. Feel that lengthening, arm bones down to the ground. So you're using those back muscles. Your collarbones are broad and free. Now release your hands, hold on your left leg and see if you can keep that knee that close to your chest. Building muscle strength, supporting our hip muscle. Then knit your ribs, inhale out to the side, back to center. It's crane pose, isn't it? Out to the side, back to center. Only I'm not asking you to balance. Out to the side, back to center. Foot comes down and stretches out. Notice what you notice. Resting breath. Press both heels into the ground as you bring them all the way into your chest and give yourself a rock and roll. Happy baby. We love happy baby. Rocking from side to side, holding onto your shins, your ankles, 2 fingers around the big toes, or on the outer edge of your little toe side arch, the lateral arch. And then bring your knees together, feet together, 1 foot comes down, the other foot comes down. One leg straightens, the other leg straightens. Arms up overhead, heels reach away from you, fingertips reach away from the heels, really getting some length. Then knit your ribs with your exhale to help bring your arms up overhead. Arms come down beside your body. Palms rotate out to the side, to the ceiling. Finger toes rotate out so that they relax to the side. And you're in Shavasana. If you prefer constructive rest, just bend your knees. If you want to do legs up the wall, put your legs up the wall. Find your Shavasana where it works best for you. Let all of that concentration of balance, all of that information, all of that just seep away as you come back to your mindfulness of the 3 fundamentals. Feel the back of your body connected to the earth, stable, secure, consistent, dependable. Relax the roof of the mouth, the jaw, and invite the whole body to join in that same spaciousness, in that same feeling of ease and relaxation. And then follow your exhaling breath all the way out to the end. Bringing gentle movement into your body. If you like, keeping your eyes closed and you bring your knees into your chest for a last rock and roll, letting your ears go from side to side. Rolling over onto your right side. Keeping your eyes closed, straighten out your left leg and bring your face towards the floor. Push up with the left hand to help yourself get up without straining your lower back. And make your way to seated. Hands to heart. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe and free from danger. May all beings be free of any form of suffering. May all beings live with ease. Namaste.
For me, it was easier today than it was on Monday.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the difference was?
Not sure.
Familiarity, you know what's coming. That's part of that cognitive brain working and saying, well, I know what's coming, so I kind of know how to prepare for it. I don't know. How about you, Jane? Was it easier today than Monday?
It was not, because I went to the gym on Tuesday and I used muscles that I've never used before. And so I'm kind of stiff. A lot of the things were easy for me because of yoga, but there were some exercises that were not. I did the orientation thing.
Yes.
I think the gal thought I was more capable than I am because of yoga. I mean, at first I was doing all these things and it was very easy. And then, she started really pushing me. Yeah. So I'm still sore from
Well,
that.
you found some muscles that you need to work, doesn't it?
Yep, that's right.
Like I said last week, I think it was, that yoga really does a really nice job. But what they said, the one thing it doesn't do a good job on is the pull muscles. We do a lot of push muscles because we do push-ups, we do plank, we do down dog. Those are all push muscles, but the pull muscles, we don't really do a lot of those. And that's where they suggest get those weights and you do those weights on the days that you're not doing yoga. Were those the exercises that you found were more difficult?
Actually, it was lunges.
Yes.
Yeah, and boy, I mean, that's one thing that we don't do in yoga. And wow. So it's really my quads that are really aching. And I was surprised because I thought, it would be upper body because I'm weaker in my upper body. But
So
yeah.
we do lunges, we do high lunge and we do low lunge. What lunge were you working on? Was it walking lunge? Because that's really hard. Show us, right? We all want to know.
But it was something that we don't do. Let me tell you that. And it was challenging. But
Good.
anyway, I'm going to get better.
We're all working on it, aren't we? Remember, the more times you lose your balance, the more practice you're getting. So that's okay. Just don't fall down the stairs and break your neck.
Right.
Okay, have a good weekend.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Molly has lost her patience. She says that's it.